During the week when I'm preparing thoughts for Sunday, a process I use is what does the Scripture say? What is really being said here, and what is listening to that going to cost me? What is my part in this gospel? And we have a wonderful example of that in the gospel this morning, of course, of Jesus the healer, and the will of God being expressed through his desire to strengthen and heal and make people whole and happy and positive. That's what it's going to cost me is listening to Bartimaeus. For Bartimaeus is a model for us of what it means to respond to that message that Jesus gives us. He has faith. And this faith is a very specific kind of faith, and one that he models in what we can do in terms of our faith so that we might have healing. And the three ideas that, looking at his life, that one might see is, first of all, that there is persistence, there's singleness of purpose, and there's follow-through. So let's just take a moment and meditate on these. First of all, the first model I can use from Bartimaeus is persistence. Persistence in the belief that God is bigger than any situation, no matter how scary or impossible it may seem. He keeps sitting there saying, Jesus, Son of David, have pity on me. They couldn't shut him up. Nobody's going to rain on his parade. He knows what he wants, and he's going to say it. Too often, we feel the necessity of going around asking for permission for our dreams. Many people want to laugh at your dreams. There are even experts who mock what you would want to do and believe and see. But we must have patience and persistence to have the healing that our dreams are going to manifest for us. And when things seem worst, that is the time that we don't quit. I'm sure you've heard of Colonel Sanders. Tried 1,000 restaurants before one of them would try his recipe. That's the kind of perseverance, persistence that we all need. Most of all, we need to trust Jesus. And I think this statement from the gospel, you have nothing to fear from Jesus, is so powerful. And our persistence is based on a deep trust in God. Master Eckhart, mystic in the 13th century, said, "Love cannot distrust. It can only wait the good trustfully. No person can ever trust God too much. Nothing people ever do is as appropriate as great trust in God. For that trust never fails to accomplish great things." See, trust and persistence is very difficult for us moderns. We live in the microwave generation in which too soon is not enough. We expect our food to be instant, tasty, and even nutritious. We take for granted that anything important happening on this planet is immediately communicated to you on your cell phone. We take for granted, but the problem is that anything that is truly important and truly makes a change takes time. Even between spouses, the family, the church, and education. We need patience in our healing. Anything worthwhile will take time. Disraeli said, everything comes to you if you'll only wait. And how many years did Bartimaeus wait to receive his healing of his blindness? He was both patient and persistent. So, if you would like to say after me for just a moment here, I have persistent faith. I have persistent faith. The second model that Bartimaeus gives is purpose, singleness of purpose. Rabboni, I want to see. Clarity gives direction to life. Hedging our bets, we're conflicted, neurotic, not knowing what healing or the purpose of our lives will be. Faith is the operating software of God's desire to heal you. And healing faith connects you with purpose. It's the purpose of the gospel. If your life is a mess, you don't know what to do, and you're totally confused, that can be a gift, because you can use that to think through and pray through and get to what's really important and have a purpose for that. This faith is given form in the scriptures, and so it's really good to prepare yourself by reading the Sunday scriptures before you come to Mass, so you'll be kind of prepared to hear that seed of God planted in your heart. As we cherish taking our cues from prevailing opinions, we diminish taking our cues from the prevailing opinions and develop a singleness of purpose, we will say to Jesus in our prayer, Lord, I want to see. I want eyes of faith to look at life from your perspective. Would you like to say after me? My faith has a singleness of purpose. My faith has a singleness of purpose. And thirdly, we can use Bartimaeus as a model of follow-through. I've never understood why golfers say that the most important part of the swing is after the ball has left the club. It seems like it wouldn't matter. But the fact is, it's one motion, both the finding the healing and what we do after that healing. And so it's not just a matter of being healed, but of following up, following the way, following Jesus down the road of life. Bartimaeus following Jesus up the road is an essential element of the healing faith. And like Bartimaeus, we follow Jesus throughout our life. And an important part of this following Jesus is a prevailing sense of gratitude. We are persistent and clear in our intention, and then we leave it up to Jesus. We release it. Can you imagine planting a bulb and in your garden, and then every day you go out and pull it up and look and see if it's taking root? That doesn't work. You'd have a dead bulb. It's leaving it there and leaving it to God. I think one of the most important personal things that my faith does for me is I leave outcomes to God. I do the best I can. I do everything. I pour myself out. But then I leave outcomes to God, because it's God's work, and that is what's going to happen in terms of good things that will be happening. Part of healing is the absolute trust that I am loved and that my petition is heard and it is being answered according to God's divine plan of love. If you would say after me, I follow through as a disciple of Jesus. I follow through as a disciple of Jesus. Now, this healing blindness can be a little scary because it's going to ask that we have a different way of doing things, and that's always difficult. But remember, and this is so important, I think these words, get up, you have nothing to fear from Jesus. For God is bigger than any situation that I face, no matter how scary or impossible. So let's activate those mirror neurons in our brain by living lives of persistent faith, singleness of purpose, and follow through by following Jesus up the road of our life. So we have 3 words to take home this week: persistence, purpose, and follow through.